They always say if we ever move anywhere, everybody, that's just a nice place. It is. It's got a lot of good things to come out of that. But it's fun. The bears trying to get to 315. That's all. March 17th. Of this year? This is with 304 now. Oh, okay. I thought it was one of the two. He wants to maintain the speed. I like 72 Hey, Tim. How you doing? Great. How about you? How you doing? Two old man. I'm young. Younger than the rest. I'm younger than the rest. Still old. Yeah. He's got your back. All right. I just said, she's feeling much better than she did yesterday. Saturday. One of those.
Oh, you already?
No, I can do it. I was in the hallway watching it.
Thank you, thanks.
Yeah, I know what that.
I don't know who was about that, but I remember I came here and y'all know that everybody came here.
Yeah, I get it. People said my name and phone number and everything all over. I don't know what they were.
It's wet. Hey, I touched on it, I don't feel it's wet.
Maybe says he has something to tell me that.
Oh, I think, I don't know what it was, I was just passing him. He was, has he stopped here? Already after the snack. It's sticky, it's maybe wet. We don't know for sure.
How you doing? Good. Got it.
I think it's dry, but it doesn't dry. I touched it, like I said, not be that anyway. It's not wet. I touched it. It's wrong in the door. I touched it, it's not wet. It's dry. It's not even
We've met a few times. I don't think we go back here. Yes, sir.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank y'all for coming. We're going to call this work session from the Margaret City Council to order. Today's Monday, February 16th, 2026, time is 6 p.m. and we're at Margaret City Hall. So this being a work session, we're just going to be informally discuss each item, get some questions answered, and give direction for the regular meeting that will immediately follow. And so, clerk, if you will confirm attendance, call roll.
Councilperson Chapman? Here. Councilperson Bell? Here. Councilperson McIntyre?
Here.
Councilperson Davis? Here. Mayor Pro Tem Ray?
Here.
And Mayor Burris?
Here. All right, thank you for that. We have quorum, and so first item on the agenda during the work session is the city attorney to address the council. And so we'll start with that.
Good evening, everyone. I was asked to talk to y'all tonight a little bit about the municipal budget and the process that y'all will be starting relatively soon for the next fiscal year. And so starting off, the municipal budget is the foundation of any properly functioning municipal government. And in Alabama, there's no express statutory authority requiring a municipal budget, but it's been recognized for decades as a pillar of good governance. The only statutory provision that comes close to requiring each of you to adopt a budget for the city is 114357, which requires that city councils appropriate the funds necessary for the expenditures of the city departments and the municipal debt. Regarding the different types of budgets, you all back in November adopted a line item budget. The other types of budgets are a lump sum budget and a program budget. A lump sum budget would just appropriate a certain amount of money for each city department without breaking down for specific purposes. The line item budget, which all of you adopted, is a budget that allocates money within each city department for specific purposes within the department, such as training, salary, things of that nature. And a program budget would allocate money to city priorities such as police patrol, fire response, administrative tasks. And regarding the process, the ordinary circumstance, in ordinary circumstances, the adoption of the fiscal year budget takes approximately 3 months. And during the first month, each department head would come to the person responsible for creating the budget with their request for the upcoming fiscal year. And at the same time, the person responsible for creating the budget would be projecting the revenue that the city will take in during that same fiscal year. And then following the receipt of the department budget, the person responsible creates a preliminary budget, which then leads to budget meetings with the department heads to discuss potential cuts, potential omissions that should be included in the budget, overlaps in services, and more efficient ways to administer the taxpayer money and provide services to the city. After the budget meetings, the budget is presented to the city council for deliberation. This process typically takes a month, and at this time, the person responsible for creating the budget would outline the budget, what it's based on, and department heads would be available to discuss the needs of their department and how they apply to the budget. Finally, the adoption of the budget should occur prior to October 1st, as that is the beginning of the fiscal year. And once approved, the budget allows the city to operate with its day-to-day expenditures, and any expenditures outside of the budget are brought before the city council for approval. And another key element of the municipal budget is budget reporting. The council should regularly receive updates regarding actual revenues and expenditures so that they can compare those to budgeted revenue and expenditures. And this also ties into the requirement for a municipal audit to be conducted by a public accounting firm each fiscal year. And at this time, if y'all have any questions, I'd be happy to address those.
I have a question. With the budget, can we have a budget without the GL codes?
No.
Okay.
That accounting is a very important part of the process. When you have an audit each fiscal year, it's very important that everything matches up, everything reconciles. And I'm not an accountant, so I can't get too deep into all of that. I'll leave that for the accountant. But it is essential to ensure that you're complying with the state law regarding the audits.
Another one is that I like to have a spring fling here, Margaret, so how does that coincide? Like, how do we do that within our budget, or with the budget that we have? What we have?
So
Where does that fit?
If there's money allocated in the budget for community projects, things of that nature, community events, that money could come out of that line item for the budget. If it's not in the budget, it would have to come before the council for approval.
Thank you.
Even with large purchases.
So with large purchases, all state laws regarding competitive bidding still apply. And with that, it would be the responsibility of the city departments to comply with the bid law. And anything outside of the budget that's not budgeted for with the bid law would have to come before the city council.
I'm talking large purchases such as vehicles and so on and so forth. The state of Alabama, 114720. Also listed in an Attorney General's opinion, states that the mayor is not able to enter in any contracts at all without council approval.
The approval for contracts for things such as vehicles would come when the council approves the budget.
Okay. The state says otherwise, but I'll be glad to share it with you.
I look forward to that.
They said that we can do it with a resolution or such matters such as that, but not anything else. Everything that's in large purchases has to be approved right here.
If there's not anything else, thank you all.
That leads right into Mr. Stan Bacon, going to talk to us.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for, first of all, for allowing me to come and talk to you tonight. First of all, I'll address the audience here. I'm Stan Bateman, I'm Chairman of the County Commission, I'm running for re-election for some reason again. I don't know. I try to spend your money wisely, and I'll get into that as I discuss this here. Did any of you remember getting a $100,000 check last year from the county to the city? Anybody remember?
You talking about a quarter of the 4-cent gas tax you're collecting out of our
No, it's not, no, it didn't come out of the force. In fact, if you had watched the commission meeting online, you'd find out that the commissioners refused to approve anything out of the 4-cent fuel tax to come to the cities. None of that came, it came out of our general fund. And I make that point because, okay, I don't care where it came from, but the cities, every one of you had to run for your position. So do I. And I have to ask the same people in a city that you do. So cities are important to counties, and there's 10 of them in this county, plus a portion of these. But none of that fuel tax comes to you. It is called a 110 fund. It's earmarked for our county, but it doesn't have to be. Now, here's why this is really important. I propose, in fact, this is sort of ironic. I started my campaign 4 years ago right here. So I think y'all probably remember, and I appreciate being allowed to do that again. I'll try to visit every council meeting as a politician, as a person running during this process also. And I explained to you then, one of my platforms was to share the 4-cent fuel tax with the municipalities. Well, you know what kept me from it? The chairman of the county commission only votes to break a tie. I don't have 3 votes to do that till today. Till today. I need another vote. It's that simple. You just count the votes. I don't have the votes on the commission to share the 4-cent fuel tax with the municipalities. Now, the compromise was, okay, we're not sharing our fuel tax, which is, by the way, most of it's collected in municipalities, maybe not yours, but it's collected in others. That money is, as far as I'm concerned, just as much yours as it is the county's. About half the county lives in municipalities. So your county citizens also, and your citizens are important, not just to you, but they're important to me. Now, I heard you talking about the budget. Counties are required to have a budget, by the way. They're required to have a balanced budget by law, and they have to pass that budget by October 1 every year. That's in the law. So we don't have a choice on our budget. We have to pass a budget, and within that, there's all kind of line items and all that. Within that, though, also by law, counties have certain responsibilities, but only 2 main ones. Only 2. Public safety, which covers the jail, sheriff's department, police departments, anything to do with public safety, the court system. That's all part of a county's responsibility in the code and in the Constitution. The second part of county's responsibility, the main thing, is to design, build, and maintain public roads. I told somebody a while ago that I think Mr. Smith said, can you pave my driveway? I told him I'd have to do that at night. That's the only way that'd be legal. It would be legal, then it's have to sneak. But all kidding aside, that's the jobs of a county commission. Now, when we give you money for things that you won't spend with, such as the $100,000. In fact, we took the restrictions off so you can spend it on whatever you chose to. We started out just saying we're going to take it out of the fuel tax and we want you to spend it on just roads. Well, we changed that around because some municipalities needed roads worse than others. Your municipality needs some road work. I saw a little comment on my Facebook page a while ago. It says, a little car driving through, it says, be careful, I see a road in front of that pothole. So, and y'all know I'm a retired game warden. I'll go way back with him and some of these other people. In fact, I used to check duck hunters over there. There's a little pond between here and elementary school. I used to check duck hunters over there, and that's back when none of y'all lived here. Well, some of you lived here. So I go way back with that law enforcement portion of it. I've worked with policemen all these years. That is a very important part of it. But everything that I take away from you on public safety and roads, for instance, I put it in an arena, or I put it in other things that we don't have to have. That's money I can't give you for public safety and roads. I can't give you money for athletic clubs. I can't give you money for your ball club. Some have separate clubs, some have municipal parks. I can give you money, though, where you can legally spend it according to your legal beagles, and as long as you spend it properly, it's okay. So there's where the $100,000 is. It's still there. That's fine. St. Clair County has 2 things that no other county in this state has. A 4-cent fuel tax, nobody else has one of those, and a 1-cent sales tax that 100% goes to the general fund. which means we can spend it on anything we want to within the law, but basically on roads and public safety. Most of it does go to public safety. Our sheriff demands a lot of attention, y'all have noticed that here lately, and we try to give it to him, he's a good guy. Until we have the best sheriff's department in Alabama, and roads with no potholes, we shouldn't be putting money in other things, because we're making it too thin in the places we're supposed to spend it. Now, I have a proposal. I don't have 3 votes yet. My proposal is this: to continue part of the 4-cent fuel tax to go to municipalities, and the $100,000 that we obviously can spend out of our general fund. We proved it last year. We gave it to you. We didn't even miss it. That's $1 million. 10 municipalities times $100,000, $1 million. They call that Bateman math on the county commission. I propose to the commissioners that we give you that $100,000 in a resolution for 10 years. You can spend it on whatever you legally can, and you'll have some restrictions. You can't go out and spend it on a party, but you can spend $1 million if you want to go to the bank, for instance, with that $100,000 a year. Right now, if you go to the bank, they're going to say, well, where are you going to pay next year's payment? I want a resolution that the county commission will give you that $100,000 for 10 years. That gives each municipality the opportunity to go down. I already talked to your bankers too. Will you loan the municipality $1 million if we guarantee them $100,000 a year to make the payment? All they got to do is pay the interest. But yeah, that's what we do. So every day I try to figure out something better to do for the citizens of St. Clair County, including those in the municipalities. That's my platform coming up this year. I need another vote to make some of these things happen. Take some questions here.
So on that 100,000, basically, for those, kind of reiterating what Stan said, if you have guaranteed income, you can issue bonds against it and take out loans.
That's right.
So you can turn that 100,000 into $1 million if you know what to do and plan it properly.
That's right.
And then on the other side of the question, we just talked about budgets. So we're all familiar with Bateman math, but when it comes to the appropriations, like how much day-to-day comes back before the commission for vote, and how much is just handled during the day-to-day operations?
How much is what now?
How much is handled through appropriations? How much comes before the county commission, and how much voted on at every council and county commission meeting?
No, our county budget is, first of all, we're a huge accounting firm. We have 52 checkbooks that I can write a check out of. But every one of those checkbooks are allocated within a budget. Part of them are restricted. For instance, about 6 of those are the sheriff's funds. I can't just write a check for free if I want to. The sheriff can write money out of the fiscal permit fund, for instance, for certain things. But it is a line item in the budget. Now, if we come up with something special, which we do, we'll have, last year we probably had 30 budget amendments, maybe 50. You have to have a budget amendment. Somebody has to bring it up. It has to be voted on 3-2, and within that vote is a budget amendment. So we amend the budget and move on. For instance, I don't put any capital projects in the budget. If I tell you I'd like to build a building for the sheriff's new command vehicle, and we're willing to spend, we put in the budget $480,000 for it. How much do you think the first bid's gonna do? At least $80,000. So we don't put capital projects in there. We wait till they're bid, like how much they are, we bid them again. But yes, to answer your question, our whole year is planned out in that budget, except for those special items that come up, and then we have to vote on them for budget change. Anybody else? Anybody interested in the 100,000 for 10 years?
We're gonna have a good conversation.
By the way, if y'all, this is real easy for me to do. I don't have to think about this a whole lot. It's not my bank account. It's y'all's bank account.
Now, what if the county just decides, okay, we need 3 new motor graders and 5 new dump trucks? Can you just do it?
No.
Or do you got to talk to the commissioners?
First of all, we're what's known as a unit county, which comes under the county engineer. But he makes the proposals on that's included in that as equipment. So he'll come in and he say, I need a couple of motor graders next year, and I need 3 new dump trucks. And we'll look at the budget as we're going through the budget process. We say, okay, let's see if you got the money, and our engineer's pretty sharp. He said, well, I already counted the money, here it is, you got it right here, it'll come in on the fund, and da-da-da. So, but he can't just go back he has to bid. Just like you mentioned, we fall right in the bid law, so we have to bid it out. But now that covers a lot of territory, you're the same way. You can buy things off of what's known as the co-ops. We're a member of about 20 co-ops, and one of them is Association of County Commissioners Co-op, where they've already bid dump trucks. They've already bid motor graders. So if we choose one of those, we don't have to bid it again. It's already been bid for all the counties. If you choose to buy it off of the state bid, that's what that's going to be. So we do that.
The big caveat there is that you would have planned to buy them if you needed them and put them in the budget for the previous year.
That's right.
So if it's a change and it's something that wasn't planned for already, then you have to have the vote.
We have to have a vote budget amendment.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah. Hiring people that you didn't say you was gonna hire. All of our department heads come in and say, I need 2 people, da. And if they come in and say, I really need 3, well, we got to vote to have a budget amendment to add the 3rd one. Yeah. It's a little cumbersome.
I was gonna say, are we gonna get another postcard this year?
Oh, yes, you'll get another postcard. It'll have some promises on the back. Promises are cheap. Y'all know that.
That's right.
Y'all know what George Wallace said years ago, don't you? You win a lot more elections promising things than you do by doing them.
Thanks, Stan. All right. Following up behind Stan, we have Mr. Pardue.
Mr. Chairman, right here's your vote.
There's my other vote.
I'm gonna stand up here while I can kind of talk to them too. My name's Adam Pardue. I'm running for County Commission, District 1 Chairman. It's a county-wide vote, don't matter where you live. If you live in St. Clair County, you can vote for me. I'm not a politician, don't want to be a politician. I'm a servant, and I think we could use more servants and a few less politicians in our government. For 25 years, I've served this county as a law enforcement officer. I spent 4 years at the Asheville Police Department. I spent 17 years at the city of Odenville as the police chief. I spent my last 4 years as a state trooper for the state of Alabama, worked out of the Birmingham office. I've been retired for years. 2 days after I turned in my paperwork to retire, I got hired back at the regional place that I worked my high school year, my senior year in high school. I went back to work there as a machinist. I've missed being a servant. I don't want to put a badge back on. I'm done with that part of it. I've got my 25 years in. I miss being a servant, and this is a good opportunity for me to be a servant. If you'll check out my Facebook page, you'll see that back in January, I knew I was going to do this before January, but in January I actually started a Facebook page. My number one goal with that Facebook page is we got to do something with this 4-cent gas tax. If we don't repeal it, then the cities deserve their fair share of it. Just because it's a city road don't mean that it's still a citizen of St. Clair County. They're still driving. You know, if people spending money at the gas station, they thinking it's going to their city anyway. It should be. I know when I worked at different areas, I would make sure I spent my money at certain areas. If they were, you know, when I worked at Odenville, I tried to spend all my money in Odenville if I could. So, Mr. Chairman, if I'm elected, a man is only as good as his word, and I'm giving y'all my word that I will be that vote that he needs. And I don't have nothing to lose. I don't need this job. I've got a retirement and a full-time job, so I don't need this chairman's job. I'm not gonna sell my soul to the devil for nobody for this position. I can tell you this, and if any of you's traveled these roads, you'll agree with me, I will not be outworked. I haven't been outworked so far since I started this campaign, and even people that's not supporting me said, you're outworking them all. And I'm gonna continue to do that. You'll hear from me on a regular basis, not once every 4 years where I need your vote.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate the guest speakers. Next on the work session agenda is the littering fine discussion. So looking at the history from the city, there's very little about littering other than the state laws. And so just wanted to get the council's input on what thoughts were for littering fines.
Isn't that $250? The $250 for the first offense, and then
The way the ordinance that's been drafted is structured, for a first offense, it allows someone to pay a minimum fine, and then after subsequent offenses, it would be $500 per offense.
Well, what is the first?
Yes,
The first offense, the fine is $200 and 10 hours of community service.
being an ordinance, this will be the first discussion of it, and then we'll post it for the next meeting for a public hearing.
This is the second fine, the 500.
500, yes, sir.
Community service.
$500 and 40 hours of community service. 40 hours of community service.
And just to reiterate too, that, the sheriff's office, under the guise of the county commission, they'll come out and clean the county roads and some of the other side roads with the, work crews. So if you have an issue, you can contact the sheriff's department and they'll send a crew out to clean it up. So, obviously not free, but it's a very helpful service. All right, any other comments or questions about the, littering ordinance? All right, we'll move right along. So, speed table, locations. So, in front of you, y'all have a map of, it basically, this map is gonna serve two purposes tonight. One, the colored dots on there right now are, street lights that the city pays for, but also just wanna look at this and have everybody mark up where they think the most relevant, speed table locations would be, and for us to come to a consensus on, where we would like these, speed tables to fit. So we're talking about 3 or 4 foot wide and then taller than normal, so it's not going to be a typical speed bump. It's going to be something that people will slow down for and should not be flying over. Actually, Massey will grind into the asphalt and embed it in there so that it's just naturally part of the road. Honestly, from my first pass of the map, I just wonder when we're going to order the next 10 because it doesn't feel like 10's enough. But if everyone will take some time and propose the locations, we can review those at the any questions or comments?
Something we need to take into consideration is just like on Old Acton Road, where that speed bump was put on Old Acton Road, everybody's dodging it, they're going around it. Erosion issue, where the side of the road has been ran over and everything else, you know, standing water, and then sooner or later you're gonna have more issues to worry about, other than trying to slow everybody down. It's a great thing in the beginning, it seems like a great spontaneous idea, until somebody runs through somebody's yard, and they tear up somebody else's personal property. The city has enacted this issue for everyone else, so let's just take into consideration everyone's personal property and everything else, because when that starts happening, I mean, somebody's gonna have a yard, they just spent $15,000 getting sodded, and now it's gonna be totally destroyed, and then we're gonna be sitting there looking crazy. So, this, when we're doing this, what seems like a spontaneous idea may actually be the biggest disaster for one of our residents at the end of the day. So,
Okay. No, anything else?
Well, I mean, like Old Acton. I know people who live on that road, they want people to slow down, but that's a main out here on County Road 12, I mean, a lot of people are traveling through there. I mean, of course, they need to slow down, but I don't think we can have speed bumps. I mean, in your subdivisions and stuff, I mean, that's great. I don't think on another main road, we should have speed bumps.
Noted, anybody else? All right. So moving right along, the next topic is city streets, and primarily focused on Railroad Drive, but I just kind of want to talk about city streets overall. So over the past year, we've seen repairs made on many roads that were not considered city streets, and basically have never been city maintained street. We walk out of our way to avoid repairing them. In the past year, they've all been touched and patched and maintained by the city, including Railroad Drive. It's had some patchwork done there as well. And so, going forward, we just need some good clarity for people on what's a city street and what's not, and what we'll repair and what we won't. And so I want to work on a consistent policy for taking care of hazardous conditions in roads, because when a developer is no longer available, those citizens are still taxpayers, and the roads matter, and safety matters. And so, you know, I'm not trying to pave every road, but I believe we should have some structure and long-term planning towards taking care of our citizens and take care of everybody equally. And so that brings us back to the Railroad Drive. There's a major drainage issue that's kind of piled up there. I believe the water piling up on the road, and we've gotten some 811 dig basically come in and identify the utilities there, and we had one vendor come in and give a quote on repairing it, but the other vendor is said he's not available for at least a month or two. But essentially, water that's piling up on the other side of the railroad tracks is going to cause further damage to the road and further erosion if we don't get it addressed and cleaned up. We have patched the road in the past, and so we've done work on the road, and so I'd like us to consider taking care of the drainage issue on Railroad Drive.
You said we have pictures, is that what you said?
It should have been an email with Mr. Barker, and I've been talking with the.
It's not in the council work session agenda or the other.
There's a follow-up email, but we'll make sure to get them again before the next council meeting. All right, but while we're thinking about this, I do want us to also still consider long-term solutions for all the roads in the city. Because if the road got put in, the city allowed it to be put in, and at some point, what responsibility does the city hold to make sure that our citizens have drivable roads?
I think a while back, the city engineer went out and evaluated the roads, and we had a worst case to a best case scenario, and then we were paving and addressing them based off that.
Nope, he never went out. He said it would have been too expensive for him to go out, so he never actually performed that. He just went out and we called him. But we can revisit hiring an outside engineer if that's the route we'd like to go. All right. If nothing else, we'll move on to the next topic of the work session. So, fire department policy, promotions, and pay scale. So, you all should have gotten the new handbook policy from the specific fire department. We were presented with the promotion council meeting, and the pay scale was also in the email. So, and Brett, would you like to discuss the volunteer department?
What was that email in? It's not in this agenda packet or the work session packet here.
In addition.
It was
Yeah, that's an additional.
one of the additional emails, that's right.
Is that the one that was received this morning at 11:30?
No. No, I think it was this morning, but no, a little before that.
Well, just so everyone knows moving forward, all department heads and everything else, the council actually has a motion that was set in place, 72 hours minimum, anything received to be discussed and addressed at the council meeting. So this morning at 11:30, it may not be 72 hours.
Well, you still have the information in front of you, so.
Actually, that's what I said we didn't, but carry on.
So email us in at 4:46 a.m. Got the pay scales and the department-specific pledge, but I'd like Brett to speak to us about the volunteer department, because I think that's a really good thing.
We're making efforts to reestablish that. Dwayne Gruber, part of the promotion was to make him a captain versus lieutenant. He's been lieutenant for years. But it's a volunteer, it's not really a staff issue. He and I are collaborating to, and I'm leaning on his wisdom, to reinvigorate the volunteer program here. We've already started meetings on Tuesday nights. Every Tuesday night, do some kind of training meeting with the volunteer, people who want to volunteer, and kind of progress them into a role to best serve the community and to help also grow them as firefighters and possibly EMS workers as well. And part of that, today, March 24th at 6 p.m., I've arranged for a CPR class for volunteers, and I talked to the gentleman that's going to be teaching that class. He's also going to be teaching our certification classes moving forward with ALS certifications and PAL certifications. He's providing that service free. He's a very well-established instructor when it comes to EMS.
I'm sorry, what day did you say it was?
March 24th, 6 p.m. And he said I'm welcome to open it up to all city employees. So not just for our volunteer fire department, but anybody who would like to be a part of that class, and city employee was welcome to come. One thing you'll learn there, and I'd advise anybody to learn CPR, because as good as we are at our jobs as paramedics, bystander CPR is what saves lives. Just want to make sure I throw that out there. See someone go down, they know what to do. That's the game
Where's
changer.
this class gonna be?
Sorry?
Where's this class gonna be?
Right here.
Right here.
Yes, sir. But we've already gotten about a half dozen people willing to volunteer, that we're gonna be growing into that role, in our volunteer program. We got good oversight, good wisdom with Dwayne. He's got a good vision in his mind. Anything else?
That's it, thank you. We thought this was part of the consent agenda. Let's see. And so I appreciate him continuing to revitalize and improve the fire department every day. So next topic on the work session agenda is Alabama Power streetlights. So again, the map you have in front of you shows the streetlights that we currently have and pay for from Alabama Power. And so essentially, the streetlights start at $7.47 for the city, and they go up to $20 each, and that's basically an increase in wattage. So from 70 watts up to 250 watts, or cut those in half for LED. And so, like there's a lot of places in our city that just have no lighting, and similar to other things, we can put lights on street road, or city accepted streets, but we try to not manage them inside subdivisions where they have an HOA or another establishment to take care of. So I'd just like us to go through it and exercise between now and the next meeting, and mark where you think you'd like to see some street lights. I prefer to have something at every major intersection at least. And so, just want to start the conversation there. Any questions, concerns? Have y'all seen, y'all also see a need? Okay, we'll move right along then. All right, so I'm just gonna go over the consent agenda again. And so the items on the consent agenda are the minutes from the 126 council meeting. Are there any corrections or questions about the 126 minutes?
Yeah, there's, half of them are incorrect. On the 26th, a motion was made to table ordinance 2026-001. She's got it listed as 2026-001, it should be 2026-004. That was listed as table. Are you doing the minutes, or is the city clerk doing the minutes?
City clerk,
Okay, where's she at?
she has a prior engagement, but our clerk is okay.
I was talking about the other issue.
Consulting employees is what we're doing.
Well, it's not, so that's what you interpreted, I understand that. Of course, that was unanimous, and then, The, repealing appointment authority restriction,
Wait, tabling that motion was unanimous? That ordinance was unanimous?
yeah, I mean, you have the video, you could look at it if you'd like. That was the 26th. And then we'll move on to the other, as soon as we get to it. Go ahead.
All right, can you send those corrections to the, city clerk and email would be great. All right.
Which one, her or the other one? I just need to know for clarification.
Continue to insult the employees.
There's no insult, I'm asking a simple question.
No, you're attacking employees. All right, so we'll move along. So approval for the minutes from the, 2-2 council meeting. Have any questions, comments, or concerns about the minutes from the February 2nd council meeting? All right, no questions, concerns, we'll move on.
Well, I'm gonna make the motion real quick. I can make the motion. but-
Yeah, this is the work session.
Okay. Well, we'll deal with it when we get there.
Oh, yeah, on the 2-2, the ordinance governing purchasing authority that was discussed, it's not listed in the council, meeting minutes.
Yeah, I don't recall a proper motion or a second or a vote. So,
Oh, no, it was just showing.
and moving right
It
along.
was also on the, I wasn't done, on the 2-2, the council meeting, it says that, said that I made a motion to purchase a truck and trailer for public works. That's incorrect, that was tabled to this coming meeting, so.
If you'll email those corrections, we'll get them in for the next council meeting. All right, moving on to the approval of the fire department updates. Any questions or concerns about the fire department updates?
Yeah, what updates are we discussing?
Very briefly covered the promotions, the handbook ordinance, or the handbook, department specific updates, and the, pay
Well,
scale.
where are we at in this work session? Because
We're
this
going
is
from-
not
going from top to bottom.
what I've got at all.
So we're covering the consent agenda items, so we're at the approval of the fire department updates.
I don't see nothing there. Can you show me that right there?
Hey, you don't have the paperwork. He sent it out this morning at sometime or whatever. Nobody's had a chance to look at it, so.
All right, so, just approving the fire department updates, department head has presented with us his promotions, his pay scale, and his department-specific, handbook policies. Any questions, concerns, or issues?
Nobody's had a chance to look at it because we didn't receive it.
Okay, moving right along then. Brookwood Court road repair approval. So you all should have had this, estimate in the last packet and this packet. This is one of the roads that was brought up, previously, and I mean, it's like, the road basically has a 6 to 8 inch, rut all the way down it from top to bottom. And, any questions or concerns about the Brookwood Court road repair quote? Moving right along, so resolution 2026-04, Smith Farm annexation. So, you should have some documents in your packet, and I'll Anthony to speak to the, document, if that's okay. And essentially, this is the first presentation of this resolution to annex the Smith Farm property into the city of Margaret.
On February 13th, Mr. Randy Smith, Nancy Pear, and Kathy Bailey filed a petition to have the Smith Farm property annexed into the city for the purposes of single-family home development. And if approved by the council, that property would become a part of the city, within the corporate limits of the city. The petition outlines that, as required by the state law, the property abuts the existing corporate limits of the city, and it's requesting that you all approve it, and there's a copy of the plat map with the petition, the proposed plat map with the petition.
And the annexation has got a clause about pending sell for development purposes. So, quick.
So we're talking about 150 more additional homes there?
That is the, on the proposed plat now.
So that proposed plat map is actually closer to the Odinville Fire Department versus our city's fire department. That puts a very strenuous strain on response times for police and fire if we accept that and build 150 homes right there. At our current staffing levels and everything else, we're looking at the possibility of 20-minute response time. Odinville would be there faster than we could.
And the city has a mutual aid agreement with Odinville for response.
I totally understand that. But if we're gonna collect tax dollars, we're gonna take tap fees and we're gonna take sewer impact fees, we ought to be able to cover our own stuff. That's our responsibility at the end of the day. It's not somebody else's responsibility to cover.
Where did that number 20 minutes come from?
Oh, were you speaking now? You interrupted me?
I'm asking a question to your board. Where did the 20 minutes come from?
Well, the casual drive from Summit Park Station over to Smith Farms is 12 to 14 minutes. So that's an average car.
And so you add 6 minutes to response time?
Depends on which way you go.
There are plans in works for another fire station. We're all well aware.
Right, you did, there was a whole of a building that was presented last week, didn't have no bedrooms or anything in it. It was basically a storage facility. I have the picture if anybody would like to see it. We can pass it out if you'd like.
Don't think that's relevant to this topic of the meeting. All right, any other questions or concerns about this resolution? All right, okay, so no changes, we'll move from the consent agenda back to the topics on the regular agenda. All right, so, first item is the National League of Cities membership and council DC trip. So at the last meeting, we said we'd come back with some costs. And, so essentially for all the council members that said they wanted to go to the trip, it would end up being a $17,000 trip. And so, it should have been emailed out to the council. Should have been, I believe, clerk's emailed it out. So the membership is $1,353, $880 per registration. And then hotel, the cheapest price was $1,780 for the trip. Breakfast with the senators is an extra $200 per person if you choose to do that. The flights, lowest price bid was $352 per person, and then the meals, I believe it was $50 a day per meal, was $250 for the meals per 4 council members. So totaling being $17,609 for the estimate cost of this trip. It was the budget has a training line of $10,000 based on previous years, so I just want to make sure council is aware of the expenditures. And any questions, concerns, or? So I can check that if it was. I'll follow up after the meeting. All right. It is important for us to meet with the representatives so that we can work on appropriations and have some face-to-face time. I just wanted to present the costs and so that we can take a look at it. We know how much it would be. All right, any other questions, concerns? All right, moving right along, we've got resolution 2026-02, City Hall adjacent property. So you should have gotten a PDF with some information and about an agreement to acquire the property to the adjacent to City Hall out to County Road 6. Basically, there's a proposal for us to accept a couple roads in order to acquire those pieces of property. And Mr. Barker went out and reviewed the roads, took a look at them, and, some of them, probably do need some work, but, the most pressing one would be Jeffrey Wilson Drive. So for the price of the property and to acquire the land to put this around in City Hall, it seems to be a fair deal. And so, you may have any questions, concerns, or have any more information about the, resolution for the purchase of City Hall?
What is he wanting for the two lots?
I mean, he's listed, I think, close to 300,000 for the property value, but that's speculative.
Now, we take the roads in the current shape that they're in, or they would bring them up to par?
We would be taking the roads as they are.
It's 200,000, fix them up.
Oh, I have no idea, but I don't have any of that stuff.
There's nothing in the fact about having to repair roads immediately, so, there's nothing contractual to, that we would just eventually have to resolve the issue. And again, Jeffrey Wilson Drive is the one that needs the most attention. All right, any more questions, concerns? All right, we'll move right along to, resolution 2026-03. Public Works truck and trailer. So as presented at the previous two council meetings, I represented the quotes for truck and trailer for the Public Works. Essentially, we have more equipment than we do have the ability to take it to the job sites, and so we're getting ourselves caught where we can't do both sides of the Public Works and sewer. And when the sewer has a leak or there's an issue with water lines, we are not able to tow the equipment to where it needs to be to continue to do road repairs and other Public Works tasks. So once again, they'll be presenting a resolution to purchase the truck and a new trailer for equipment on. Any questions, concerns, or issues? All right, and then the final resolution 2026-04, police officer contract buyout. So we previously hired a police officer from Springville with a contract of a certain amount, and when state law got involved, it came up, and you want to address it?
The state law requires that when a police officer moves to another city within 3 years of attending the academy, the accepting municipality is required to reimburse the previous municipality for the cost of the academy and any other training expenses. And with that, the city was initially presented with a number that was higher than the number that they negotiated down to.
Why did we have to negotiate it down?
The initial demand was high.
Let me ask you a question. This individual's currently working for us?
It is.
Why is it just now coming up?
It was negotiated with the.
This individual's been working here longer than 90 days. We were originally told this was a $4,000 issue. Now we're looking at $20,000. That's very non-understandable. Would anybody like to explain that to you?
I mean, it's
Because that is the question.
we just explained it. We had an original contract, and then the city came back with a higher number.
So 4 goes to 20, like we just flipping it up.
It's based on the actual cost that's justified by sending someone to the academy. The actual cost, it's not a made-up number, it's the cost of
So
the.
this is done prior to us hiring this individual. I mean, this is not something that just comes in.
That's like I said, y'all take the call, you can tell me how much I owe you for it later. Come on now.
Once again, we were presented with a contract, it was favorable, we accepted the said contract.
So what you're saying is somebody did their homework.
I'm not saying that.
The employee signed a contract for personal liability for the $3,200 to send him to the academy. That was for the tuition. The state law covers all expenses related to sending that officer to the academy.
So what is exactly the contract about? Because I don't think we presented with it, we were told what's that.
The only contract that existed was between the employee himself and the city of Springville. for reimbursement of the tuition for the academy. The state law requires reimbursement for A, sending him to the academy, any travel expenses he incurred going to the academy, things of that nature.
So that went from 4,000 to 20,000?
It includes payroll, and that's what makes up the bulk.
But that shouldn't be on us, that should be on the previous municipality where that person came from.
The state law requires reimbursement when a police officer moves within 3 years of attending the academy.
So we didn't ask this before we hired this person?
That was my question. We hired the guy before we come up with 20,000?
Yeah, quit one time.
And we're presenting with a contract that is favorable, and, they all underneath.
It seems like there's more to the story that we're not getting. It's the reason I'm asking. We've sent several to the academy previous year. We haven't had this.
This situation arises when an employee goes to the academy with another municipality, and then within 3 years goes to another state agency, including municipality. And that's for all expenses related to.
I mean, I get that, but what I'm saying is, due justice wasn't done. Somebody didn't do their due diligence. But before us getting to this position. I mean, this may be something we have to do an executive session later on in the council meeting to discuss, said individual or whatnot, but I just think there's a lot of questions sent from this desk. It's just, I mean, we know what we gotta pay for it. We're told 4, and now it's 20. That's a big difference. I mean,
Anything else on these? So, again, we moved the public comment section to, this portion of the meeting. But no one called and signed up in time for the public comment for this meeting. But I do believe there was, one or two other topics we need to cover. You mentioned spring cleaning.
Yeah. Okay, so,
are we gonna finish the work session agenda before we jump to anything else that's not on here?
The next thing is moving to adjourn, so,
We still have to cover Southern data quote for cameras, firewall, and IT.
yeah, that's coming up next.
Where is Southern, is Spring Fling here? Oh, it's not, go ahead.
do you mind if I bring it up?
No, I just like, we're not covering the agenda first, like we're just jumping to topics that people just personally want to bring up. That's what the confusion is.
Okay, wait, so let's
Yeah,
go on.
I thought it was pretty clear. Go ahead.
So, I would like to do a spring fling, in the city, but I would like the city to be involved. The hope is there's certain things that we want to do, like a 5K, so be police versus fire. Your runners, like anyone that runs to run, there's gonna be an entry fee. All of the money that, is brought in from the spring fling will be donated between the departments, so it'll be split between police and fire, so that, again, when you're looking at a budget, like we've heard about a lot, I would like to keep as much money in the budget as possible, and if we can do things to bring in money outside of that, so they have that there for a cushion, or maybe for an unexpected expense, or, things of that nature, so, if it's okay with the rest of council, I would like the city to be a part of that. It will be with, Grassroots, Landscape LLC. They have, wanted to help out with this a lot. April 18th is the day that we're looking at, so again, like a 5K that morning, and then, we'd like to have vendors come up and set up whatever they have, so anybody that does, anything, come and set up and have food trucks set up so that, everybody can make something here, and that we can start to, instead of being so at odds, we can start to become one again and be a little more unified than what we are. Is what my hope is. I'm not gonna say it it will or won't, but that's something I'd like to see, and if it's okay with the council, I'd like the city to be a part of that. I even want to put a Dunkin' booth in there, again, police versus fire, put the mayor in the seat, I couldn't care less, but just things to help to bring money into each department that we have. That's it.
Excellent idea. Any questions or concerns?
Are you talking this April, like 2 months from now?
I think it'd be a good idea to open up to all the businesses, see what businesses wanna help out,
Absolutely,
contribute. I think there's a lot of businesses in the city,
I agree.
a lot of tax dollars to pay,
Mhm.
so everybody might wanna take part of that.
So in that same vein, I started a conversation with Lovejoy, the landowners for the property next to the pharmacy, to see about coming up with some kind of possible short-term lease where we could attempt to do a kind of a food truck community space, where we could have some picnic tables, maybe some covered seating, and a couple of outdoor activities where we have food trucks come, park, and actually have places for people to go, sit there, eat, commune, and like play games and hang out. And then that same spot could then be used during times when we can get a co-op to come in and have the farmer's market and a few other activities there. And it would be the perfect location to basically do this. It prevents us from having to go and get permission and make sure insurance is covered. It would be just a set location that the city could use in the meantime. But the council is so inclined, I can continue that conversation and get some numbers. All right. Anybody opposed to pursuing that?
What would we pursue?
Possible short-term lease of property next to the pharmacy so that we could use it for food trucks and or community events.
How much is it gonna cost the city?
Well, in the current negotiation, we're trying to get it for free or next to nothing, just for the time being. But until I actually have the conversation and get a quote, then I assume there will be some cost.
Have a conversation, get a quote, bring it back to us.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, so moving right along, the Southern Data Automation. So the police department requires a certain level of security and firewall controls to protect their information. And so for I've got some quotes from Southern Data Automation, one for the police department, and then two to add cameras and security to all of the additional buildings, facilities around that the city owns. So there should be a separate quote for each building to put in a firewall and cameras, and some improvements here at City Hall. The quote came back fairly high, but some of it is basically needed, and we also need to replace our IT support because the gentleman who previously provided IT support basically can't be contacted. He's not replying to emails, not responsive. So we need to basically re-enlist some IT support and consider the security for the other facilities and the police department.
Any reason why we just got one quote, not multiple quotes?
Yep, a couple of the others did not respond, and I think I reached out to 4 different companies, including the one that was here previously, and this is the only one that responded with a quote. And we could, this is not an all or nothing, so we could pick portions, or, and there's a core that the police department needs, especially with them moving into the new offices coming week or two. And so, there'll be the firewall and security for their department. Part of it's baked into their budget already, but some of this for the other buildings is not. Oh, and building on the spring clean, you all should have had in the last packet and this packet, that North Valley is doing their 5K again. And so they'll be basically, if I'm not mistaken, running from Woodland Ridge to the school and back maybe a couple times. And so they've asked for us to provide police to help when they're crossing County Road 6. But besides that, they're handling everything else, and they just want people to be aware. And so, I'll be posting their flyer to the, city Facebook page and website, but, just want to make sure you're all aware and, have the information. And then, we have, still have the draft of the no smoking ordinance, but we have not published it publicly yet, and so, we'll get it published with the other ordinances so that we can have a public hearing for it at the next council meeting. With that, I just have one more topic of separate conversation that has just recently come up that I wanted to, Chief Walton?
Yes.
Can you come out, sir? So, come on. So, Chief Walton has been instrumental in, turning Margaret's, police department around and getting things moving in a proper fashion. But, Chief has made a tough decision, and, he's decided he's going to retire on April 1st. And so, Chief, would you like to say a few words or say anything, or?
It's just, I've had to make a really tough couple of decisions. I've been in a uniform, counting my military, 53 years. And, I think it's time that, just kind of back off for a little while. And I've talked to the mayor, and I appreciate the people that heard it through rumor control. And nobody knew about to call me, but, April 1st, I will be retiring.
Thank you. As a city, I'd like us to put on a nice, with partnering with Springville and County and a few other places, I'd like to put on a nice party celebration for Wayne's services. 30 years of service in St. Clair County, and, he leaves a legacy behind, and I just want to make sure we honor that. All right. Hope there's no further business, we'll move right into the, city council meeting.
You forgot the Parkwood Drive repair discussion.
Okay.
How obvious that would be since the last meeting, you remember?
Well, it's not on the agenda, so we'll move on.
What's on the agenda, Rick?
It's not on the
City of Margaret Council Work Session Agenda. It is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 9th thing on it. Because the quote is right up under it. You got the quote?
All right, we'll discuss it. So you have before you a quote for a small dip for Parkway Drive. This has been called an emergency, and we've actually sat and evaluated it quite a bit, and does not seem to be that consequential, but we have proposed putting a speed table across it, and it would be, for the price of this batch, we could put in 10 more speed tables around the city. And so I think it'd be, honestly, I'd make a motion that we table this quote and put in another speed table.
Can't make a motion, it's a work session.
Well, I'm proposing what we're gonna talk about during the work session, so that's my take on it. Any other comments or discussion? With that, we'll adjourn the work session and move right into the regular council meeting. All right, anybody, no public comment, sorry. But, all right, so we'll go ahead and call the regular meeting to order. Call the regular meeting of the City of Margaret Council order today, Monday, February 16th. It is 7:08. Let's see, we'll have an open prayer. Mr. Barker, could you open something?
Father, we come before you tonight, thank you, praise you for who you are. Thank you for taking care of us, the blessings we receive daily. We can continue to thank you for this nation and this city you've given us to live in. Pray for our leaders, especially our president, his cabinet, our city mayor and council. Pray that you give them wisdom and direction in the way you'd help us go. In Christ's name, amen.
Now, our pledge of allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, can you please call?
Councilperson Chapman is here. Councilperson Bell. Councilperson McIntyre.
Here.
Councilperson Davis. Here. Mayor Pro Tem Ray.
Here.
Mayor Tortori's.
Here. First item is taken as the consent agenda, and based on the comments about the minutes, I'll take a motion to remove the minutes from the consent agenda. Motion to remove the 2 minutes from the consent agenda. The 2 minutes, approval of the 2 minutes. Councilman Samantha Davis has a motion to remove the 2 minutes from the consent agenda. I have a second. All right, I'll second the motion. All right. So removing the 2 minutes packets from the consent agenda since it was decided that there were issues that need to be corrected for the next council meeting.
So let's do not take them. I'll take them.
Oh, yeah, we're removing them from the consent agenda, moving to the regular agenda for, so that we could table them during the regular agenda.
We just moved off to the records.
Because we're trying to, the whole point of this is to make the meeting efficient, so. You can keep that.
Fire department updates and stuff.
We have a motion in a second.
Carry on, move on.
Roll call vote.
Oh, sorry. Councilperson Chapman.
No.
Councilperson Bell. Yes. Councilperson McIntyre.
No.
Councilperson Davis. Yes. Excuse me, Mayor Pro Tem Ray.
No.
And Mayor Tortori's.
Yes.
Since that time, I'll make a motion to take the whole consent agenda and move it to the regular agenda.
Have a motion, Mayor Pro Tem Ray, could I have a second?
Yep.
Councilman Chapman, second. Roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman.
Yeah.
Councilperson Bell. Councilperson McIntyre.
Yes.
Councilperson Davis. Mayor Pro Tem Ray.
Yes.
Mayor Tortori's.
No. All right, for that, I'll move the entire consent agenda to the regular agenda. And so, we're going straight to the approval of the minutes for 1/26/2026 council meeting. Sounds like we need a motion to table the minutes until corrections are made.
Make a motion to table it to the second meeting in March so we can get the meetings correct.
Motion to table the minutes from 1/26 to the second meeting in March. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Councilman Chapman, seconds. Roll call.
Councilperson Chapman.
Yes.
Councilperson Bell. Councilperson McIntyre.
Yes.
Councilperson Davis. Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Ray.
Yes.
Mayor Tortori's.
Sure. Yep, yes. All right. Looking for a motion to table the minutes from 2/2 until a correction can be made.
Make a motion the same, second meeting in March. Declaration done.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray made the motion. Looking for a second.
Second.
Seconded by James Chapman.
Councilperson Chapman.
Yes.
Councilperson Bell. Yes. Councilperson McIntyre.
Yes.
Councilperson Davis. Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Ray,
Yes.
Mayor Flores.
Yes. Moving right along, looking for, a motion to approve the, updates to the fire department by the department head.
Make a motion to table that to the second meeting in March. We'll have everything together by then.
I've heard him Ray made a motion to table, the department head's decisions.
Fire department updates, everything they emailed this morning at 11 something.
Oh, I second.
Councilman Chapman seconds the motion.
Stop.
No, we're, all right, in discussion, like, these decisions are made by the department head. The department head runs his department. What in this is, needs discretion or the council's input to change.
Pay scale's one.
If it's a wide pay scale that ranges from top all the way to the bottom, I mean, it's a basic pay scale.
Well, everything's basic except for the fact that there's a motion previous to have everything to us 72 hours before the meeting starts, and we have it the morning of. I don't know what is so hard.
I emailed a pay scale 3 weeks ago.
Why are you yelling at me?
Brett, it's all right.
Why are we allowing the
Do
city
not
employees?
use my department to push your agendas.
Right, that's okay. So,
We were emailed that pay scale 3 weeks ago. We have been,
working on
the things that the department head wanted to do and his things to promote was, he stood here and talked to us 2 meetings ago about it. So,
basically the idea is that the department heads are running their departments. This kind of banter, this kind of trying to make your political agenda is doing nothing but hurting.
There is no political agenda. There's
There's
a motion and a second on the table.
There's no, I'm
You're
in part of
taking-
discussion, I'm talking, this hurts employee morale, this attacks employee morale, this costs taxpayers money bickering over things that don't make a difference and things that don't change anything. Every one of these political gestures hurts the employees and costs us taxpayers money, time, and, benefit. And so, you can make all the jabs you want at me, but I just ask that you please stop attacking the employees for the benefits of your own personal agendas.
Well, Councilman Chapman doesn't even have the paperwork in front of him because you won't send it to him in an email. So he doesn't even know what we're discussing. Because you won't send it to his email, which we had discussed. So this is not a personal attack on anybody. This is your failure to collaborate with everybody else sitting at this desk, and then you want to point fingers. The finger pointing is, oh, so now you're going to silence me. Okay, carry on.
can I ask a question?
There's a motion and a second. I think we need to move forward with that.
I make that decision.
Can I ask a question?
Robert's Rule of Order makes that decision.
Is that the emails that are sent, they're sent to our city emails. So are we asking that now we use personal emails to have city information sent to? Is that what we're asking?
The city attorney, did you not say that emails could be sent to whatever email address was needed to collaborate city information?
And as long as it remains part of the public record.
There we are.
My policy as mayor is to send it to city emails, and if you can't check an email, I can't help you. And so the policy is to keep it traceable and on a city device, so that if something happens, that information is publicly available. It's all to protect the city and to protect liability.
Email, that makes it not publicly available.
In the case of a lawsuit, when a device is confiscated and it doesn't come after your personal devices and your personal information, that is why the policy is in place, to protect the city, to protect your personal devices, to protect your personal information. The moment city information accesses a personal email account, that entire personal email account becomes accessible to the public.
Well, then I want all mine in paper form.
That's not part of the policy. You can print them on your own printer at home when they're emailed to your city email.
So you're getting information.
The information is distributed regularly to everyone equally.
Not to me.
It's distributed to everyone equally, whether they choose to check the emails. I cannot force someone to. All right. All right, so I have a motion and a second. Any more comments? All right, roll call.
Councilperson Chapman?
Hold on, before we vote, where we at on this?
So the motion to table the fire department updates.
Yes.
Councilperson Davis,
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray,
Yes.
and Mayor Torres.
No. Motion passes. All right, moving along, Brookwood Court road repair. Looking for a motion to move forward with the Brookwood Court road repair. Road repair, good.
I make a motion to move forward with that for court road repair.
All right, looking for a second for the Brookwood Court road repair approval. I'll second the motion. So looking for a roll call vote. And,
Councilperson Chapman,
Where's this road?
Magnolia.
Magnolia. All right, roll call.
Councilperson Chapman,
Yeah.
Councilperson Bell,
Yes.
Councilperson McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilperson Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray,
Yes.
and Mayor Torres.
Yes. Thank you. And finally, looking for a motion on resolution 2026-04, Smith Farm annexation. Actually, one second. Yeah, resolution. Well, you know,
Tonight was the first presentation,
That's right, that's right.
and next meeting, it'll be on the.
Yeah, it's on the agenda to present it, so that at the next meeting, and we will publish it along with the other two ordinances for the next voting on the second meeting. All right, so we'll move right into regular city business, and so with the National League of Cities membership, see if you want to make a motion or
We got
a,
an ALM voting delegate authorization.
so this is basically parliamentary, but, every year we get the right to vote at the annual conference for the Alabama League of Municipalities, and, so we just looking for a motion to allow us to, vote when we go to the conference.
Said we have to appoint someone to vote for us.
I mean, mayor is the default, and then the other two positions get. Really I will be there, so, but I mean, we have 2 seconds, does anybody want to volunteer for the other two positions?
That's not what the form says, though. It doesn't say the mayor is the default, it says the voting delegate. City has to choose. The league constitution requires voting delegates and alternates to be elected municipal official. They must be selected by a vote of the city council. I'm just reading verbatim.
Well, point. The point's still simple, are we voting to allow delegates or not?
Yeah, I mean, you got a voting delegate, then you got a first alternative, then you got a second alternative.
Well, who's gonna do it?
Everybody's going, right?
Who's doing it?
Anybody want to vote as the delegate?
I'll,
I mean, we're all gonna do it.
You just gotta choose somebody.
all right, so,
I'll make a motion to Martrice be our voting delegate.
I'll second that.
all right, so we have a motion second, any discussion? What about the second alternate and, second alternate?
Well, you got a first alternate first, you missed that one, and then the second
I
alternate.
think I said the alternate and the second alternate. So, would you like to modify your motion, or,
Oh, you can make the first alternate,
well, you gotta make a motion to modify your motion?
is that what you want to do?
Yeah, if that's what you want.
I just want to do what you want to do. Wait, James, amend my motion, make James the first alternate, and then Carrie the second alternate.
All right, looking for a second.
I see.
All right. Okay, seconds, modification to the motion, looking for a roll call vote, or any discussion comments? All right, roll call vote.
Bell? Councilperson McIntyre?
Yeah.
Councilperson Davis?
Yeah.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray?
Absolutely.
And Mayor Tortorisi?
Yes. All right, moving right into, the city business. We've got the, National League of Cities, membership and council PC trip. And so again, expressed that the, trip is, 17,000 for the 4 members to go. It's, not currently in the, budget, and so see the council's pleasure on the trip.
Make a motion to approve it. I'm gonna make that motion to remove myself and allow these newly elected officials sitting up here to go in my place and let them represent the city.
The, motion was already for them from last week, so it's just a matter of approving the money or not. You're welcome to drop out, but the motion to.
I mean, I know I'm not gonna drop out, that's the motion I just made.
No, you made a motion to appoint other people to go who've already
I
volunteered.
didn't make a motion to appoint anybody, but it said to approve.
I'm thinking you did.
Well, you're speaking for me, so go ahead.
Would you like to reword your motion?
Minus myself, I make a motion to approve what's been presented to us. For them to go to Washington.
All right, for a second. Mayor Pro Tem made a motion to, have 3 members go to Washington. Senator Davis, second. All in favor, or roll call?
Councilperson Chapman?
No.
Councilperson Bell?
No.
Councilperson McIntyre?
No.
Councilperson Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray?
Yeah.
And Mayor Tortorisi?
Yes. So the motion dies. We have an alternate motion, or let's talk about it. All right, move right along. Okay, next topic on the agenda is, a resolution for 2026-02, City Hall adjacent property. There's a resolution to, enter negotiation for a, to purchase a hall, or to acquire the property adjacent to City Hall.
Make a motion to table the second meeting in March.
Got a motion to, table resolution 2026-02 to second meeting in March. Do I have a second?
That's the one with roads and
Second.
Okay. Councilman McIntyre, second. Roll call vote, or any discussion? Roll call.
Mayor, excuse me?
What are we doing? The table,
Yes, table to the second,
Meeting in March.
meeting in March.
but we, who's seconded that?
Here.
McIntyre.
Okay,
Councilperson Chapman?
yeah.
Councilperson Bell?
Yes.
Councilperson McIntyre?
Yes.
Councilperson Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray?
Yes.
And Mayor Tortorisi?
No. All right, moving along to resolution 2026-03, Public Works Truck and Trailer. I have a motion for resolution 2026-03.
Make a motion to table it. The first meeting in March.
Just the truck and trailer.
It's
Second.
it's the trust fund.
Got a motion on the table to table it to the first meeting in March. Do I have a second?
Second.
Every day we continue to table the equipment that employees need to do their jobs is again hurting morale, but it's also hurting the effectiveness of our departments. It's like we can't can't be repairing a leak and patching potholes at the same time currently with the equipment we have on hand. And so this is the third presentation of this equipment and price that's on the bid list. So, I would just pray that the council reconsider and move this forward so that our city can be more effective and we can get the work done that our taxpayers desperately need.
Truck's 45, truck is 16.
Do we know what that total number is?
In the packet for 2 weeks, but, I'll step down.
I don't have a packet.
They won't send it to you.
So can we continue with the motion to table?
Well, that's what, anybody had any more comments, and he asked some questions.
I mean, you accuse us of kicking
I
stuff
mean, I'm getting
down.
lost down here.
At the end of the day, you're kicking the city clerk position down the road that we approved to hire.
It's not on topic, so
It's not time because it's on your time.
call for a roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman?
Well, I don't even know where we're at right now. Where are we at?
So, picking back up on the roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman?
No.
Councilperson Bell?
No.
Councilperson McIntyre?
No.
Councilperson Davis?
On the table,
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray?
Yes.
And Mayor Torres?
No. All right, that motion dies. Do we have another motion? Resolution 2026 statute approved. I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution 2026 3, purchase of the public works truck and trailer.
How many trucks have we bought so far?
Not relevant, just off at hand, and I'm looking for a second.
Well, we just bought a trailer like this, right?
Councilwoman Samantha Davis, second. All right, discussion?
Discussion is what I was trying to ask. We've
We're
already,
we're in discussion now, or are you gonna, like, anybody?
we just bought a dump trailer, correct?
Yes.
We did?
Mhm.
So what's the reason we need a second one?
From my understanding, that in some of the subdivisions that they go in, they can't fit because the trail is too long
Elaborate on that.
and too wide.
Probably didn't know. It's like one for the water department, putting the maniacs in, so we take it and digging the subdivisions. Take rocks in while they're digging, backfill in, and like use the other one to do the public work, digging up ditches, hauling riprap, whatever, so you have, because we have one flat in that train. Just so two crews can work and not have to wait for the other one to be out. But we can't haul the skids the year round because they've been fixing leaks and sewer leaks. Water leaks and sewer leaks.
So this truck will be used by the new public works director, or we're gonna buy another truck after that?
It's just for them to use it. Oh, man, that's something else. So you just need it so we can work.
Any other discussion? All right, we'll move right on to roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman?
Yeah.
Councilperson Bell?
Yes.
Councilperson McIntyre? Councilperson Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray?
Yeah.
And Mayor Torres?
Yes. Okay. now, moving right along, resolution 2026-004, police officer contract buyout.
Do we need to go in executive session, to discuss this any further?
I would advise going into executive session to discuss this further.
Okay, the next topic was executive session, so, I can get a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Councilman Chapman?
Yeah.
Councilperson Bell? Councilperson Bell?
Yes.
Councilperson McIntyre?
Yes.
Councilperson Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray?
Yes.
Mayor Tudor.
Yes. All right, we're gonna enter an executive session, we'll be back in, let's say 15 minutes, at 7:15.
No.
When next?
If it's a mayor, council, that's fine. Another question.
It wasn't you this week, sir.
I mean, you always look right. You always look right. Guess who we talked to? I told him. She said, guess who we talked to?
Did she let you kick it?
Yeah. She gonna let this man have a conversation.
What are you doing?
I hope it has better ratings than Mr. Martin.
Let me get hold of text you. Okay, I don't know. I know mine.
You can make heads or tails out of this, sir.
I was kinda wondering.
You gonna do that?
I like the old style. For the same price. That's right. Wednesday last week. I said, Mark, she's like, he didn't think no one was gonna notice it, it's nice. She said, yes, I tried to turn it on.
Hey, I'll man. You cannot play here. This is not for you. Play up there. That's not for you to play.
I did, back in the seventh grade, seventh grade. I transferred from the league, I graduated '79.
You didn't have a printing company?
I did it all day.
I don't know, they didn't tell me to.
That's where we know each other.
I went there where we have a bar and we got over
I live in there. That's how I know
so I figured if that, being that, then I would have put it on it, right? They said, did you tell me that? I said, okay, and they just said, Dr. Perkins. They said, well, I said, it sometimes, it's like, okay. Well, I've only been on, and I did something like that. I got my first. Wednesday, I changed my date because every day I changed my insurance because it's got to go for my insurance. Like, I have to pay probably have to pay $575. So I told my girl, agent Megan, I was like, this is what we're having. And she said, oh, no. So she checked me on the bill, and we got off of United Healthcare and got on the vehicle. And when I went, and after that $595, it was gonna be $205 a month for like 6 months. And then when I went in there for my Wednesday, I pre-approved his trilogy is going and then the dog, he has an ambulance. So the dog had to have a subscription for his ambulance, and it does just as good as the trilogy. This one, he just does, once it out, trilogy is one on the medication he's got regular abuse and stuff that he needs to take. Anyway, he said, I think this is just as good as the trilogy, and $47 versus, of course, he doesn't know what it would cost with the Viva now, it may be less, but he's happy with this.
Hey, remember, if you start to breathe, and you stop, okay, never stop to breathe. You get something to drink.
It's still dry.
Yeah, but I'm gonna first one well, not around an elevator, that's a whole other issue. That's not your apartment, friend, that's your living room.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's confusing.
That's unreal.
I was like, this always comes 3 and then.
Where they come to visit, they walk across the street, Jim Moore's grocery, and walk across. Tommy's room.
Same the longest one yet.
I haven't.
That's older. How old you are? You're older than me. You are old. You know, we absolutely.
Herbalife is somebody that's still licensed.
They must have hired all of it, everybody, all of it. As long as you're not bothering. Yeah, I need you to come back
Time is 7:58, we'll call the council session back to regular order, regular business. So we'll circle back up to the, resolution 2026-004, police officer contract buyout.
Make a motion not to approve it.
Not to approve it. Is that a proper motion?
Motion and a second.
And again, and we're in discussion, I'm asking if that's a proper motion, because,
Well, if we're being transparent, we knew about something a while back and we just now presenting it. Something tells me it's not the right thing to do to approve something we didn't know about when you did.
so, I think just checking, do we need to reword that motion or revise it?
If the motion is not to approve it,
Like table it, or like, that's not an actual action?
it should be a motion to approve it, and then yes or no.
Okay, motion and a second on the floor.
It's a double negative, that means.
If you'd like to move forward with it, the motion would either, if the motion passed, it would fail. If it didn't pass, it would be back on the floor.
So, got a motion and a second, roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman?
So we're voting to,
Not approve it.
yes. Vote not to pay.
Councilperson Bell?
Yes.
Councilperson McIntyre?
Yes.
Councilperson Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray?
Yes.
Mayor Dolores?
No. All right. All right, so, last item on the agenda is, just a report for me, and so, over the past several weeks, I've spent a good bit of time in all the departments in the city, talking to the employees, looking at processes, and evaluating where where we're at, and places where we can improve the delivery to our residents. And so I want to talk a little bit about employee morale. So our city employees show up every day to serve Margaret. They answer calls, repair roads, respond to emergencies, and process permits and manage finances, and they keep the city functioning. And when they're empowered to do their jobs within a clear chain of command and defined responsibilities, they perform well. When that structure becomes blurred, it creates confusion, slows progress, and affects morale. Spend a significant amount of time trying to turn employee morale around. And Margaret operates under a mayor-council form of government, and that structure exists for a reason. The council legislates, sets policy, and dictates financials. The mayor executes and administers. When we each operate within our own roles, the system can work efficiently to the taxpayer's benefit. But when lines are crossed, whether in directing or yelling at staff, directing or the expenditures of funds without the mayor's knowledge, revisiting operational decisions outside the proper channels and processes, or inserting politics into personal matters, it just causes delays, duplication of work, and waste of tax dollars. And then uncertainty among employees, which is again an issue that we have to deal with on a day-to-day. That uncertainty ultimately costs time and money, and directing employees outside the established chain of command undermines their accountability. And if there's a concern about operations, the proper avenue is through the mayor's office or during a proper notice council discussion. That protects the employees and protects the council. My commitment is simple, just to protect the integrity of our structures, protect the morale of our employees, and to protect the taxpayers from unnecessary delays and inefficiencies. We've been working diligently, one step at a time, to rebuild processes that were either unclear or non-existent. That includes standard operating procedures, clear reporting structures, better budgeting and accountability, and long-term infrastructure planning. While at the same time, we're actively pursuing outside funding to improve our city without placing additional burden on our taxpayers. David Benson has already submitted 2 grants and is working on the 3rd, and for park improvements and other applications that are currently being prepared for the fire department and other departments throughout the city. All of this is in an effort to improve our infrastructure. Because if we don't take care of the parks and places that we have now, it's really hard to get financing for future improvements. And so, again, before we can attract those larger grants and major investments, we have to show that we can take care of what's ours. And so, we've got multiple avenues being pursued in doing so that. And so the progress in the government is rarely flashy, it's methodical, it's procedural, it's disciplined, and it's exactly what we're doing. I want this council to succeed, I want every department to succeed, and I want our residents to see the results of that. We'll continue to move forward with the structure, transparency, and steady leadership, because that's what the people of Margaret voted for, and that's what they deserve. And so with that, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Roll call.
Councilperson Chapman?
Yeah.
Councilperson Bell?
Yes.
Councilperson McIntyre? Councilperson Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gray?
Yep.
And Mayor Cortez?
Yes.
No, you don't get to speak, if you don't agree with the agenda.